Hello class, and welcome to week 2 in our course. This week you have 2 assignments due. You have a journal entry where you're going to be talking about depression and anxiety and how you would distinguish between the two. Related to that are your readings this week in the DSM, where you'll be looking at depressive disorders and anxiety disorders. When it comes to these, I thoroughly recommend that you not only read the criteria and all of the associated sections in the DSM, but pay very close attention to the differential diagnosis. When I taught this class last term, that is the feedback that I often gave students. Read the differential diagnosis section, because this is the section of the DSM that helps you to determine if the client is presenting with additional symptoms, or if the client is presenting with symptoms and you're thinking about if it could be another diagnosis. This will help you to rule that out. This will help you to determine if the diagnosis that you are giving to the client is the appropriate one for the symptoms. And I apologize, my dog is choosing this exact moment to play with his squeaky toy. And so you have the journal entry due, and you're going to have draft 1 of your final project, which is the biopsychosocial form, or depending on where you'll intern, the psychosocial form. And this gives us information about the client. And so what I want you to do is, when you're thinking about Amelia, you had all those assessments from last term. And as I said in the welcome announcement, this term you have a summary of her. And I want you to pretend as though the summary is what she said to you in session. You have the assessments, and I want you to use the two of those, well, both of those buckets of information. So all those assessments and then the case summary, to put together this biopsychosocial picture of Amelia. Now, attached to the announcement this week, I also have attached a little bit of a case analysis that I wrote up when I used to teach this class previously, based on a client that I had, and the beginning of the presenting problem. And I did this because, again, last term when I taught this class, I noticed that students had a very difficult time taking all of that information about Amelia and really condensing it into a clinically sound, pithy paragraph. And so you want to tell me who the client is, identifiers, age, race, et cetera, and then why is the client presenting? What is the client presenting with? Why is the client sitting before us today? And so that's going to be your assignments this week. Again, please pay close attention to the differential diagnosis when you're reading about all of the depressive disorders and the anxiety disorders. And our poem today, dealing with depression, is one that actually was in my high school guidance counselor's office, and it always stuck with me. And so, as the internet grew bigger and bigger, I think I was in graduate school when I was able to Google and find this poem. But depression is something we will see. Depression is something many of you may have firsthand knowledge of, and anxiety. And as you're thinking about Amelia, thinking about what she's presenting with, thinking about what she's been through, again, read through the criteria, but also pay attention to the differential diagnosis. Thank you. I look forward to seeing your work this week, and let me know if you have any questions.